Hello everyone and welcome back to Chess Recap. Today we have an exciting chess game to analyze. In this video, we are diving into a thrilling match between Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana and Grandmaster Nordirberg Abdusattorov. We will be looking at key moments, critical moves and analyzing the strategies employed by both players. Make sure to stick around until the end for some insightful commentary and key takeaways. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's jump right into the game and see how it unfolds. Fabiano Caruana with the white pieces starts with 1 e4, the king's pawn opening. Abdusattorov replies with e5, knight to f3, the king's knight variation, knight to c6, bishop to c4, the Italian game, knight to f6, two knights defense, d3, bishop to e7, and Fabio goes for castling. So did Abdusattorov. Rook to e1, d6, f4, bishop to e6, asking for a trade of bishops, and Fabi ignores it and develops his knight on b2, d2. Bishop takes e4, knight takes on c4, f5, bishop to g5, knight to d7, and bishop takes on e7. Queen takes on e7, d4, e takes on d4, knight takes on d4, knight takes on d4, queen takes on d4, rook on f to e8, queen to d2, queen to h4, f3, rook to e6, knight to e3, queen to g5, rook on a to d1, supporting the queen as it was pinned by the queen on g5, queen to c5, king to h1, rook on a to e8, b3, knight to f6, knight to f5, finally finding an outpost for the knight, g6, kicking away, knight to e3, b6, c4, queen to g5, queen to f2, knight to d7, knight to d5, queen to d8, g4, throwing all the pawns to create an attack, rook to e5, preventing it, rook to e3, knight to c5, queen to g3, h5, Abdusattorov also do the same thing, h3, supporting it, king to g7, knight to f4, rook to h8. So he left the king just to bring the rook into h5 and attack the king on the h5. Now here comes the first mistake from Fabiano Caruana. Instead of g takes on h5, Fabi goes for king to g2. Engine doesn't like this move. He wanted to open the g file and attack on the king as there was a free pawn on the h to capture. H takes on g4, h takes on g4, rook on e to e8, rook on e to e1, queen to f6, rook to h1, offering the pair of rook trade. And now in this position, Abdusattorov missed the trick, and here Stockfish is telling actually Abdusattorov is winning the game if he is able to play all the right moves. And he's having 23 minutes of time in his clock compared to Fabiano Caruana's 1 minute. But here he will make a mistake, and he will, instead of taking the rook on h1, he will go for c6 pawn push. And engine doesn't like this move. Knight to h3, rook to d8, g5, attacking the queen, and queen moves to b2 with check. There was a pawn up for grabs now on the b3. Knight to f2, rook takes on h1, rook takes on h1. Now the best move for black in this position, he can tuck the king to f8 or g8 and safely negotiate from here on. But instead he played a mistake here by pushing the d5 pawn. Now the game is back to balance with neither of them having an advantage. C takes on d5, c takes on d5, and rook to d1. Instead of immediately capturing the d5 pawn, he pinned that rook which is unguarded, and now he's threatening to capture. Now here Abdusattorov will make another mistake. Here the best move was to give up the pawn and put the rook to e8 and get away from the pin, but instead he will go for a knight to b3. going for capturing that pawn. Even though it was a free pawn to capture, Engine believes there was a better move for Abdusattorov to play in this position. He takes on d5, knight to c5, queen to f4. Now, see, if you look at the material here, both are equally matched and no one is having a significant advantage. Now here comes the biggest mistake of the match. Actually, Engine want black to be active in this position and try to put the rook to e8 and create more attack and make the pieces more active. But instead, Abdusattorov will move for a grave mistake and he will push his king to g8, and Engine hates this move. Now white is in a winning position and he can create a win from here if he is able to find all the best moves from this position. And the sequence of moves begins here, starting with king to g3, taking away the king from the pin of the queen, knight to b7, queen to c7, attacking the knight and the rook. Here in this position, rook on d8 is guarded by knight on b7. So if knight moves, rook hang. Here Abdusattorov is facing a major threat, and here there is no moves actually can save Abdusattorov in this position. So he plays king to g7. Instead of taking the knight, Fabi will play an intermediate move, knight to g4, trying to bring more pieces into the black game and create a strong attack. Rook to h8. So here Abdusattorov has given up the knight there. He knows there is no way to save it, so he has given up the knight, and here Fabi will go ahead and capture it. Queen takes on b7. Now Fabi is already up a piece in this game and is clearly winning here on from Fabiano Caruana. Queen to e2, trying to attack the rook. Rook to g1, queen to d2, and queen to e7. And it was in this move, after 48 moves into the game, Norderberg Abdusattorov has resigned to Fabiano Caruana as there is nothing more to be done after hanging up a piece. And Engine believes it's plus 11 for Fabiano Caruana and there is nothing to be done in the black's position. And that was it, the first win for Fabiano Caruana in this tournament as he defeats Norderberg Abdusattorov. So that was a fascinating game between Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana and Grandmaster Norderberg Abdusattorov. We saw some incredible moves, creating a double attack on Abdusattorov's both knight and rook and forcing him to give away one piece, and which resulted in a big win for Fabiano Caruana. I hope you found it as interesting as I did. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite moment was, or if there is a game you would like to see analyzed next. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more chess content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, keep playing and keep learning. Bye bye.